This video is brought to you by the 9% and is powered by Petty Vision Productions. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
We're going to talk about karma today. And I think this is important, and this is why. Because a lot of times we use phrases, concepts, ideologies, and we don't have the full working knowledge of them. So sometimes we can use it against ourselves. So understanding it, we can utilize it better. So that's why I want to talk about karma. And, most of us know what karma is, right? We get all them old sayings, what goes around comes around. That's associated with the universal principle of cause and effect, right? What goes around comes around. Even if we go into the Bible, we'll see what you reap, you sow. Uh, but it's something older than that, right? Um, and in Hindu practices, you see the extent of karma or the origin of karma, uh, how karma was created. First people who gave it a name, written. And even looking into Buddhism, Hinduism is older than Buddhism. Buddha broke it down even more. So I'm gonna touch on that, but we gonna talk about from Hinduism. And when we get into not this episode, this is just an explanation of what karma is. And when we get into the laws of karma, I'm gonna incorporate Buddhism into that, and then the universal principles too. I'm gonna when we talking about the laws, and then in a members only live, I'm gonna break down how to change karma. So uh, it's gonna be a 3-part series, 2 public and 1 members. But when we talking about karma, we want to take it back to the originators, right? We're gonna take it back to the Hinduism. I don't know how many people familiar with Hinduism. You might be, you might know what Buddhism is, Taoism, even Jainism. But Hinduism is I guess you want to call it the birth mother of all of them. So we gonna go back to the Hindus and see what they say about karma. But before we do that, what I have to do is give you understanding, some working information on not only what karma is, but how it's used, right? So um, the Hindus believe that your thoughts were also a part of karma. We got to understand the mechanics of it, because a lot of times we think it's just action, and it's not. It's more than action. It's also thought. So what we think is incorporated into our karma, into our actions. So even our thoughts have the potential to create good or bad karma. This is why in Hinduism and Taoism and Buddhism, they always talking about clearing their mind, clearing a path, you know, um, going into isolation, not allowing others' thoughts to become yours. Commander, what up, though? Appreciate you, appreciate you. That's what they do. That's one of the main reasons why they want you to clear your mind. So understanding that even our thoughts is equated to a part of our karma. When you go to study it, you might see 2 portions, you might see 3 portions or 4 portions of karma. All of it is associated, but it's parts of it, right? How it's displayed. So the first part we're gonna talk about. Let me pull it up for you. So the first part we're gonna talk about. I don't know if y'all can see that on my screen. is the Sanchita karma. This is the karma that is accumulated or built up through your past life and you're experiencing in your present self. All actions, good or bad, are stored in the subconscious, right? So the Sanchita karma is the karma from our past lives that we are experiencing in our current bodies, meaning the karma that you accumulated in your past life. You know, Hinduism, Taoism, all these Eastern philosophies and religions believed in reincarnation. So the first part of the Sanchita is not what you did in this life, but like when they say you reap what you sow, this is all the deeds you did in your past life that you are currently experiencing in your present life. That saying, I know y'all heard this before because I said it, but I don't know what I did in my past life, but I'm paying for it now. That's where this saying comes from. So the things we did in our past life is basically catching up to us. If that's good or bad, maybe you did some good things in your past life, and in this current life, you're reaping the rewards. Maybe you did some bad things, and in this current life, you're reaping those. So that's what the Sanchita part of the karma is. Now, I don't want to confuse what the Parabha karma. This is the portion from the past, the Sanchita, that is active in the present life. The actions of the past deeds harvest in the present, good or bad. Now, what this is Sanchita is the collective, right? This is Sanchita is all the karma that was stored up that you brought with you. Now, the Parahabha is the action, is the actual harvest, you actually having to deal with the karma, whether it's good or bad. So all this is past tense, right? Um, so the things that we did in our past, we have to live through that karma in our present. And when you practice Buddhism, you hear a lot of stories about different people encountering Buddha. And one of the stories was this. It was a man who was blind. He was a Buddhist monk. And he went to Buddha and asked, how can he become more enlightened? And Buddha said, when you stop seeking it, you'll find it. And so that night, the man was thinking about what Buddha said. So he walked out of his room and went for a walk. Now remember, the man is blind. As he was walking, he walked through and killed some ants. And the next morning, some of the other monks was walking past his house and seeing that there was a pile of ants that was crushed, that was dead. So they went to Buddha and told Buddha that the blind monk squished the ants and killed them. They wanted some type of punishment for him. And Buddha asked them, did you see him crush the ants? And they said, no, not with their own eyes. And he said, well, neither is he because he's blind. So his intention was not to crush the ants, even though he crushed them. So there's no bad karma coming to him. And Buddha went on to tell him that he's one of the most enlightened ones here. And they asked if he was so enlightened, why is he blind? Because they said in his former life, he was a physician. And he used to heal many people. And one day this lady came to him when she was going blind. And he healed her, gave her some cream, and she promised to be a slave if he was to heal her. So when her sight started coming back, she decided to lie to him and tell him that her sight wasn't coming back and she needed more medicine. Well, he knew that her sight was coming back because all his medicine worked. So he gave her some medicine that made her permanently blind. So when he was reincarnated into this life, because of that sin, that bad deed he did, he had to live this life blind. So that's why he was at peace with it, because he knew he was living out his past karma. And the only way to shake that and to get it off of him was to accept it, endure it, and learn from it. So when we talk about the Prabha, this is what we're experiencing now. Like I said, the Sanchita is the action. Well, the Sanchita is um, the essence of the karma that we brought from the past life to this life. The Prabha is the action, us having to live through it, right? So whether it's good or bad, this is what we're currently experiencing in our current life that we accumulated in our past life. So karma follows you. It follows you, even through death. Now the third portion is actually similar to what I just showed you. It's two parts of it. So if you go look it up, you'll see one name, but there's another portion of it that's associated with it, right? The Kara, the Kararama and the Agama. The Kararama is the karma you are creating right now in the present through the choices and decisions you make. So not only do you have to deal with past karma, you're also accumulating more karma. And with the Kararama, this works like this. You reap and sow the karma that you're currently creating. So a portion of the karma you're creating, you will get it right away. Some of it will follow you into your next life of what you create now. And that turns, so even what you do now turns into the Sanchita karma, a portion of that. And a portion of it you have to deal with right now, currently. And the Agmaya is the karma that's formed from current actions that we must harvest in the future. So this whole portion here is what we're creating right now. And studying, sometimes they tell you you have a choice, and sometimes they tell you you don't. From my current practices, I understand this is the only portion of karma that you can actually control. You can control the decisions and choices you make. It's totally up to you. You can do things with purpose and intentionally create. Anita, what up, sis? And intentionally create good karma. Or you can do things recklessly and create bad karma. This is the only portion of karma that we have control over, is what we currently are creating right now. So these three aspects, really four, but these four aspects, they have a mode and they have an action. So the mode of this one would be the Kariyama. That's what we're currently doing. And like I said, a portion of this is carried over. It turns into the Sanchita. So the things you do, not only do they affect you in your current life, if you believe in reincarnation, it affects you in your next life too. So just armed with that information, we can do things with intent, with purpose, and change all this. I just gave y'all the sauce. But this is easily changed. Like I said, if you got the information, if you got the knowledge, you can become the author of your own story. But without it, someone else will write your story. You know, like I said, we use these terms so loosely and don't understand the methodology of them. We only use them when it affects us. But what if we can use it intentionally? That's like only using pen and paper when you go to school. But when you're at home, you don't utilize it. What I'm gonna use pen and paper for at home? You can start creating a business plan. You can start creating a direction of where you want to go and what you want to do in life with that pen and paper. That pen and paper is a powerful tool, but we only utilize it when we are ordered to, basically, when we have to. We only do things with intention when we're told to. We don't use it for ourselves. Shout out to Teddy Eats. Sis is on a journey right now, and I'm proud of her. She took her life into her own hands and decided, hey, that 9 to 5, I don't want to do it. I'm a bad woman. I'm a queen. I'm a creator. And that's what she did. She created her own lane. But she did that with intent and purpose. She understood that she had the power. She had the confidence and the belief in herself to do it. As we all, I don't know if y'all seen my post earlier, but we all capable of great things. It's just some of us are willing to go through the adversity that comes with it. You know, when we look down the road and we see that road is rough, sometimes people won't take it. Some people just like, hey, let me prepare for the trip. All about the mindset, how you look at things. And with this karma, like I said, it's a tool. And what the Hindus believe is this: your thoughts and your actions create karma. Now, when it comes to Buddha, Buddha understood the power of intentions. Everything we see outside of us is a reflection of what's inside of us, even these computers. I promise you that. That's what I'm telling you. These concepts, they have formulas so they can intentionally use it. The power of intention. When you do things on purpose, when you do things um, with the end goal of succeeding, you find ways to accomplish it, especially if it don't work the first time. But when you do things um, just off the whim, a lot of times when you see the adversity, people quit. Important things in my life were manifested seriously. Don't be skeptic. Don't knock it until you try. Hey, Commander, I'm telling you, like what people don't understand. And oh, let me get back to that. So, the formula of intention is thought and emotion. Now, what does that mean? What I'm saying is you have to use your emotions to power your thoughts. If you want something, you have to feel it before you think it. Let your emotion fuel the thought. Allow the emotion to fuel the thought. That's how the thought becomes clearer. It's because when you truly desire something, desire is an emotion. You find ways to make it happen. This is why they use formulas. This is the way they program or reprogram their brain. And after you do something for so long, it becomes a habit. You don't have to think about doing it. You just do it. It's fairly simple. It's three parts. It's the karma that you stored up from the past. That's one portion. Another portion is that karma you stored up in the past that you're currently reaping. You're currently processing. You're going through that karma right now. And then it's the karma you create right now. And on top of the karma you create, a portion of that goes back into the cycle. And you have to experience it in your next life cycle. It kind of explains your current situation. or when we say, oh, we just got bad luck, it's the karma that's playing out from a past life. But even the thought, like I said, it's the intention that you put behind the actions and the thoughts that what creates the karma. It's not just the action, because you can do something good with bad intention, and you can do something bad and have good intention. So it's not the deed itself, it's the intention that's put behind it. Why did you do it? What motivated you to do it? That's what creates the karma, not the actual action. It's the intention. But that's how it works. That's how karma works. You not only have to deal with the karma from your past, but you're creating karma now that you're going to have to deal with in the present form and in the future. So in Hinduism, they believe in just doing the right thing. Even if you suffer in this lifetime, if you do the right thing, you'll reap the reward in the next lifetime. Similar to Christianity, right? Um, if you do all the right things now, you get to enjoy heaven. So instead of not coming back and doing it again, um, it's the same thing if you take that part out. Do the good things now so you can reap the rewards later.